It is now my pleasure to introduce the Atlantic Council's newest center and the most important of our new 2013 initiatives. In the next 3 years, both the World Cup and the Summer Olympics will be held in Brazil. The election of Pope Francis of Argentina, the first pope from the Americas and the Southern Hemisphere, is just one of the many signs of the emerging stature of Latin America as a source of global leadership. 3 of the G20 countries are Latin American: Mexico, Brazil, and Argentina. Our quickest growing trade partner is Latin America. We get more of our energy in the United States from Latin America than the Persian Gulf. We don't often enough recognize that the Atlantic Ocean that gives us our name is not exclusively an ocean of the Northern Hemisphere, but indeed stretches from pole to pole. Indeed, the Atlantic coast of South America is longer than the North American Atlantic coast. I'm pleased to announce, more than that, the term Atlantic for us has more to do with shared values and shared history than shared geography, as any member of NATO or partner of NATO without an Atlantic coast can attest. So I'm pleased to announce that with the help of a truly distinguished and visionary leader, we are seizing the opportunity of Latin America and making it part of the transatlantic community. Tonight marks the official launch of our Adrienne Arsht Latin America Center. This center will seek to integrate the region more fully into the transatlantic community by fostering a new era of partnership and action among political, business, and opinion leaders of Europe, the United States, and Latin America together. To take on this next step, we needed a partner, and we were incredibly fortunate to have found that person on our own board, a very special woman whose name the center will carry with great pride. It is now my pleasure to welcome onto the stage a visionary philanthropist and business leader. She is a groundbreaker. She is a person who makes things happen. She was the 11th woman accepted to the Delaware Bar. She was the chair of the board of Total Bank. She is also the founder of the Adrienne Arsht Center for the Performing Arts in Miami-Dade County. Please welcome to the stage my dear friend Adrienne Arsht as we celebrate the founding of the Adrienne Arsht Latin American Center.
Buenas noches. Yo soy Adrienne Arsht. So I've been asked tonight, how did this Jewish girl from Wilmington, Delaware, develop a passion for South America? I first went there in 1963 during a break in my first year of law school. I wanted to go off and travel for a month, and I told my parents that I wanted to go to many places, including Manaus, way up the Amazon. Mother and Daddy looked at a map and said, well, maybe we could join you. And I adore my parents, and so the 3 of us set out in 1963 and spent a month in South America. When I moved to Miami in 1996, I was immediately caught up in the Hispanic community there. I was embraced by the Cubans and every other South American nationality. In fact, I got the the honorary title of being a Juban. Jewish and Cuban, which is a very, very high compliment. I can tell you, though, that somebody from Miami did seek to have that on a license. And when they applied for that, of course, they went to the state capitol in Tallahassee, and they didn't really understand, and they thought it was banning Jews, and they tried not to let them have that. It was clear to me when I lived there that Miami was really the future today for the United States. And I needed to find ways for the rest of the country to embrace Latin America the way they did in Miami, which is sometimes referred to as the city in South America closest to the United States. When I returned to Washington in 2008, all I could talk about was what was happening in Miami and how important it was for us to focus on Latin America and start being aware of the values in that continent that are so similar to ours. As I walked around town and kept saying things like this, Fred Kempe listened, and then he went to the board of the Atlantic Council and talked to them, and they understood. And they came to me and said, we would like to take your vision and your passion and create a center that will integrate South America with Europe and with the United States. And as they say, the rest is history. But I prefer to say, today we start making history. Muchas gracias, mis amigos.